Welcome back, my dear ones. Thank you, truly, for being here. Every listen, every download, every quiet night spent with my voice in your ears, it means the world to me. You've helped build something rare and powerful, a queer space where softness is strength, where rest is sacred, and we are all safe to simply be. Out Like a Light isn't just a podcast, it's a promise, a little piece of peace in a world that can feel anything but. This episode comes to you in the heart of Pride Month, a time to celebrate who we are, honor those who came before us, and remind ourselves that queerness is not just valid, but beautiful. Whether this is your first Pride or your 15th, I hope this story helps you feel seen, held, and cherished. I started this show because, like many of you, I've felt the weight of being different. I've been the kid hiding who he was, the adult trying to fit into spaces that were never built for him. I've heard the slurs. I've felt the shame others wanted me to carry. But I've also learned, slowly and painfully sometimes, that there is healing in connection. There is power in softness. And there is joy in creating something beautiful for people like us. And that's where I really need your help. If you could, please share this with someone who needs our help. This show is my way of coping with the noise and cruelty still aimed at queer people today. It's also how I fight back, by building a space where tenderness triumphs. And if this podcast has helped you feel even a little bit more loved, a little more understood, I ask that you help me grow it. Please share it with someone who needs it. Leave a review, mention it on your socials. That simple gesture could bring someone else home to themselves. So thank you from my whole heart. You are why I do this. And now, let's rest together. Before we begin our story, let's tuck you in. Take a moment to settle into your bed. Feel the fabric beneath you, the familiar rise and fall of your breath. There's nothing you need to do right now. You are safe. You are held. You are home. Now, with your eyes closed and your body resting, I invite you to imagine something beautiful, a place just for you, a private little patch of sunshine in a quiet corner of the world. Maybe it's a meadow. Maybe it's a rooftop in the city. Or a sun-dappled glade in the woods. Perhaps it's a beach with lush waves lapping onto the beach. Wherever it is, this place belongs to you. No one can enter without your invitation. to explain yourself. You don't have to explain who you are here. You don't have to change. You are already enough. And in this golden place, you are free. Feel the warmth of the sun touching your skin. It's not harsh, just soft, radiant, nourishing. Like a friend who loves you unconditionally. Let the light reach into the parts of you that have been hiding, the places you've protected for so long, the places that might still ache. Breathe in. Let that warmth settle in your chest. Breathe out. Let go of whatever burdens you've been carrying. In this place, your queerness is not something to defend. It's a flower blooming. It's a story unfolding. It's a part of the sun's design, and it's beautiful. If you like, imagine laying back now in your special sunlit place. Maybe there's a gentle breeze. Maybe the scent of lavender or warm grass. You feel your shoulders drop. You feel your jaw unclench. You feel the day letting go of you, and you letting go of the day. Stay here as long as you like. This place is always yours. You can return here anytime you need it. It will wait for you, patiently, like the sun itself. And now, let's begin our story. In the quiet hills of Clover Patch, nestled between the roots of an old oak tree, lived a mouse named Ellis. His days were predictable and peaceful, tending to his herb garden, watching beetles trundle past, and sipping dew from wild mint leaves. The town of Clover Patch was small, kind in its own way, but not a place for difference. Folks liked sameness. They liked quiet. They liked mice who didn't make a fuss. Ellis had learned to keep his colors muted, his voice soft, his heart hidden. But one morning, a letter arrived wrapped in a ribbon and smelling faintly of cinnamon and city air. Ellis, darling, come visit me for Pride. It's time. With love, your cousin, Marlowe. Marlowe, the city mouse, the one who had once worn sequins to a funeral, the one who left Clover Patch years ago and never looked back. Ellis hesitated. He'd never been to the city. He didn't even own shoes. But something inside him stirred. A flicker of warmth. Or maybe a longing. So he packed a bag, tied a blue kerchief around his neck, and set out for the city by Dandelion bus. The city was everything Clover Patch wasn't. Tall, wild, alive. Lights blinked from windows and laughter spilled into alleys. Mice of every stripe walked side by side, some in heels, some in capes, some with bright fur, piercings, or patchy jackets covered in pins. There were flags in the windows, murals on the walls, and music that thumped like a heartbeat. Marlowe greeted him at the train stop in a pink satin vest and a smile that could warm a glacier. They hugged tight. "You came," Marlowe said. "I wasn't sure you would." "I wasn't sure either," Ellis admitted, eyes wide as a double-decker snail. "I wasn't sure either," Ellis admitted, eyes wide as a double-decker snail trembled past, with rainbow streamers flapping from its antenna. The days that followed were a blur of color and discovery. Marlowe's home was nestled in a wall behind a queer bookstore. It was filled with art, records, old postcards, and mismatched chairs that held stories. Marlowe introduced Ellis to their neighbors, two mice named Zara and Niku, who brewed hibiscus tea and shared tales of falling in love under streetlights. Ellis saw mice with wheelchairs and walkers, mice with different fur patterns and languages, mice who used they and zay and no pronouns at all. There was drag. There was softness. There was space for loud and space for silence. And then came the parade. It began with a ripple of music and the scent of kettle corn. Mice lined the streets, waving little flags and wearing big smiles. Drummers marched, dancers spun, and there were banners honoring elders and signs remembering lost friends. Ellis stood at the edge, pressed against a lamppost, his kerchief clenched in one paw. "What's all this for?" he asked. Marlowe smiled gently. "It's pride, love. We march because once we couldn't, because some of us still can't, because it reminds us we're not alone." A mouse with a cane handed Ellis a small flag in trans colors and winked. "First pride?" they asked. Ellis nodded. "Welcome home," they said. As the parade passed, Ellis saw something strange happen inside him. It wasn't joy. It was recognition. The flamboyant mouse in glitter heels reminded him of how he used to twirl in secret as a child. The elderly mouse in a rainbow shawl reminded him of how he once hoped to grow old with someone before he'd been told that wasn't allowed. And the chant rising from the crowd, "We're here, we're queer, we deserve to rest," made his eyes well up unexpectedly. He turned to Marlowe. "Why didn't anyone ever tell us it could be like this?" "Because they didn't want us to know," Marlowe whispered. "But now you do." That night, back at the flat, Ellis took off his kerchief and looked at it. "I want to dye this," he said. "Make it brighter." Marlowe beamed. "I know just the place." They stayed up until sunrise, sipping tea and sharing stories. Ellis spoke of Clover Patch, the good and the not so good. He admitted how lonely it had been, how often he'd wondered if something was wrong with him. "There's nothing wrong with you," Marlowe said. "You just needed to see a world where you belong." Ellis returned to Clover Patch a week later. But something had changed. He brought back books and flags and new ways of thinking. He planted wildflowers shaped like stars and let his laughter ring a little louder. And when mice whispered, he smiled anyway. And when spring came back round again, he started organizing. It wasn't much, a little picnic, a quiet gathering under an old oak tree. But he brought Marlo, Zara, and Nico a banner that read, "Love is bigger than fear." Some mice didn't come, some watched from afar, but a few strayed, a few danced, a few, for the first time, felt brave enough to shine. Years later, when other young mice felt different or afraid, they'd wander toward the old oak tree where the breeze carried music and the leaves sometimes shimmered with color. And there they'd find Ellis, still kind, still gentle, and finally fully himself. Good night, my dear one. Sleep well. You are loved, you are cherished, and you are